You know that approximately half of adults with diabetes will develop some form of peripheral neuropathy during their lifetime? That's what this video is going to be about. What is diabetes? What is neuropathy? How are they interconnected? So let's get started. First, diabetes. There's two types. Type 1 is an autoimmune reaction or response where the immune system is attacking certain cells in the pancreas. The job of the pancreas is to produce insulin, and your own immune system is attacking those cells. So eventually, your pancreas is not producing any insulin. What's the story with insulin? It's a hormone that's required by the body to basically take sugar, which we call, the body breaks it down into glucose. It takes glucose out of the blood and puts it in places for storage, right? We have to have glucose in order to run body parts. So type 2 diabetes is where the pancreas basically gets tired. Over time, and with too much strain on it, the pancreas begins to make less insulin, and the body's receptors become resistant to insulin. So although there may be insulin in the system, the receptors aren't pulling it in. They're not as sensitive. So what happens is when we don't have insulin, then our blood sugars run high. And high blood sugar, well, for that matter, low blood sugar too, we want to be in a good sugar range, a good glucose range. But if it's too high, it starts causing some serious problems. And that's what we're going to talk about. So, what is peripheral neuropathy? Now, that's an easy one. Anything that's in the center of the body, nervous system wise, like the brain and the spinal cord, that's the central nervous system because it's in the center. Anything peripheral to that or outside of that, like the nerves that leave the neck and go into the arms, the hands, and the fingers, the nerves that leave the lower back and go down into the legs, the feet, and the toes, that would be part of the peripheral nervous system. There's also nerves that leave the spine and go to our inside organs. That's part of the peripheral nervous system. Some nerves actually leave the brain and go to different organs of the body as well. Those parts are called the autonomic nervous system, and the autonomic nervous system controls body part, almost like an automatic nervous system. So the nerves that run into the hands and fingers, or nerves that run down the legs into the feet and toes, and the nerves that exit the spinal cord or the brain and go into our body. That is the peripheral nervous system. When the peripheral nervous system is damaged and it's not working correctly, then we call that peripheral neuropathy. So I hope that makes sense. Now, diabetes is the number one cause of peripheral neuropathy, and this neuropathy can cause things like burning, tingling, numbness, paresthesias where things feel weird, balance problems. But since it also affects the autonomic nervous system, it can cause or contribute to high blood pressure, low blood pressure, digestive issues like GERD, acid reflux, motility issues like constipation, and even sexual dysfunction issues like erectile dysfunction. So yes, those can be part of a peripheral neuropathy because that's the definition of the peripheral nervous system, and if it's damaged, it can affect those areas. Now, the prevalence of diabetic neuropathy can vary based on a number of different things. First, it depends on the type of diabetes that you have. For some reason, and we're not sure, but people with diabetes type 2 are more likely to develop neuropathy compared to people with diabetes type 1. Also, how long you've had diabetes depends on whether you're going to get peripheral neuropathy or how bad it is. Basically, the longer you've had diabetes, the more likely you are to develop neuropathy. With regard to diabetes type 1 or type 2, if your blood sugar is controlled, or rather if it's not controlled or poorly controlled, then blood sugar levels that are going up and down and up and down, those poorly controlled blood sugars will increase the risk of developing neuropathy. And then when you have it, it makes it worse. Now, there's other medical conditions that a diabetic has to be looking out for as well, because if you have things like high blood pressure, kidney disease, or high cholesterol, those will increase your odds of getting peripheral neuropathy. Now, this is almost a catch-22, but if you think about it, all of those conditions oftentimes are caused by diabetes. So high blood pressure, kidney disease, high cholesterol, those almost always go along with diabetes. Those things are caused by that, and we're going to share later in about a minute how that happens. Now, there's another condition, and it's called polypharmacy. For those diabetics who are taking a lot of medications, polypharmacy, that will increase your risk of developing peripheral neuropathy. Why? Because polypharmacy can have all kinds of different drug reactions, can lead to side effects, and many of the side effects of things like gabapentin, also known as Neurontin, Cymbalta, and even Lyrica, they'll have side effects, common side effects of burning, tingling, and numbness, which I know you're thinking, that's crazy because my doctor prescribed those for me. What do you mean? It could be making my neuropathy worse? Yes, it can. Other medications, since we're on medications, that you really need to know about. Reactions to things like Cipro or other antibiotics in that family. But Cipro is one of those drugs that can cause neuropathy, and if you have diabetes, the chances of that goes up. Let's go on to the next thing. This is the exciting thing that I wanted to share with you, and there's two theories on how diabetes causes peripheral neuropathy. We don't exactly know, but I'm pretty sure it's one or both. I actually think it's both. Microvascular damage is the first thing. The teeny tiny, small blood vessels that supply nerves with oxygen and nutrients, including glucose, these things are called capillaries. And over time, high blood sugar levels are going to damage those capillaries. It'll make them difficult for the nerves to get the nutrients they need. As the blood supply, those capillaries get damaged, they get smaller, and eventually they shrivel and go away. Well, if those arteries or arterioles are going to a nerve, the nerve's going to shrivel and die as well. And when it shrivels and dies, it hurts, it burns, it tingles, and it has all those symptoms that we're familiar with peripheral neuropathy. So, Theory 1, microvascular disease. Theory 2 into how does diabetes cause damage to nerves, and for that matter, kidneys, brains, and hearts, is inflammatory and oxidative stress. So high blood sugar levels can lead to inflammation and oxidative stress. So inflammation is a process that the body uses to help fight infection and even heal injuries. But chronic, long-standing inflammation, that in of itself can cause damage to tissues, including those microvascularities, as well as, therefore, nerves. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. One thing leads to the next. Oxidative stress is a condition in which there's an imbalance between free radicals and antioxidants. I'll do another video on that. That are in the body. So free radicals are these unstable molecules that can damage cells, including nerve cells and kidney cells and brain cells and heart cells. So those are the two theories. Honestly, I think it's really probably both of those things that are causing nerve damage. And that's why diabetes is the #1 cause of peripheral neuropathy. And that's why really I'd recommend that you watch some of my other videos to help you with your diabetes. But here's the question. Can diabetes be reversed? Can you reverse peripheral neuropathy? Or can you reverse diabetic neuropathy? And the answer to each of those is yes, absolutely. All the time? Every case? Nah, I want to be realistic with you. They can be reversed. And imagine if all you do is you do your very best in cleaning up your diet, following my recommendations in these videos. And imagine if all you do is cut your A1C down 25%. You didn't reverse it, but you improved your diabetic scores. Would that be good? Well, of course it would. But is it reversible? Yes, diabetes is reversible. yes, peripheral neuropathy is reversible. And the next thing I want to do is I want to give you some support. And the first place that I want you to go is to these videos that I do, because I have countless videos on diabetes and diet. Just type in diet on my search. Okay, I like the keto diet. I like the paleo diet. I talk about it in my book. So here I am, I'm giving you some support. I've written a book, Reversing Neuropathy, Making the Impossible Possible. And it is nutrition, chapter 6. So chapter 6 in the book. So we've got my YouTube channel. You've got the book that I wrote. Then we have a webinar that I did on neuropathy. I have a website where you can get to that webinar, and that is reversingneuropathy.com. Catchy, right? So you can go there. You can also get testimonials. Why would you want testimonials? I'm not trying to impress you with what I've been able to accomplish, but to impress upon you that these things are reversible. And it's just cool to hear stories of people who have actually done it, right? So if your doctor's saying it can't be done, but you hear 15 people on my website that say, I did it, and my doctor said it couldn't be done, well, that begins to change your paradigm and your mindset. And so I think that's worth it. Oh, and I have a Facebook support group. Last thing is, on the website, you can also go probably all the way to the bottom, hit support or contact us or something. Or even here, if you're interested in consulting with us directly, then you can absolutely reach out to us. We do free consultations. So we'll actually consult with you and let you know if you have neuropathy and exactly how bad is it and what are the options there for you. But anyway, this video is all about diabetes and neuropathy and diabetic neuropathy, and I really hope that helps.